Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about dilations of geometric figure. By the end of this video, you should be able to find a scale factor and make a shape larger or smaller. Here's some important vocabulary you need to know for this section. A dilation just means that we're going to make an image the same shape but a different size. A scale factor tells us how much larger or smaller the image is than the original shape, or the pre-image. For example, a scale factor of 2 means the image is 2 times larger than the pre-image. So taking a look at our first example, we're going to compare the image and the pre-image to find the scale factor, and then we're going to find the value of x. Now I wrote you this nice little formula right here. Scale factor equals image over pre-image. So that just means we take the final thing over the original, and the way we know which one is the image is it always has the little prime symbol right here. So this is P prime, this is our image. So the figure in red is our image, and that means the figure in black is our pre-image. And again, the way I know that is because of this little prime symbol. The prime symbol means the image. So to find the scale factor, we just choose a side that we have for both of our figures. Notice I've got a 3 on this figure and I've got a 9 on this one. So those are corresponding sides, so I can compare those two sides. So I'm going to do the image, which is 9, over the pre-image, which is 3, giving me a scale factor of 3. Scale factor of 3 means that the red shape is 3 times bigger than the black one. So what we're going to do with that information is we're going to use that information to find the value of x, our missing side length. So if this is 2, 3 times bigger than 2 is 6. Now, they're not always going to be that easy. They're not always going to be some whole number that we get larger by. So what I'm going to do, even though you could work this one another way, is I'm going to show you how to find x using proportions. So suppose we didn't know x, but we do know that 3 and 9 are corresponding sides. We can go 9 over 3. So starting with the image over the pre-image equals the image, x, the bottom side, over the pre-image, 2. And then all we'd have to do is cross multiply. 3 times x is 3x. 9 times 2 is 18. So we have 3x equals 18. We can divide both sides by 3, and we get x is equal to 6. That's actually the process I'm going to use to work the next problem. Go ahead and try this one on your own. See if you can find the value of x using the process we did in the previous example. Pause the video. When you're ready to see the answer, please press play. So for this one, our image was the L prime. Again, the way we know that is because of that little prime symbol right here, which means that in the black we have our pre-image. So our image being, let's pick two sides we know. Now we don't know the x, so we can't compare it to the 7, but we do know the 2 and 9. So our scale factor is 2, the length of an image side, over 9, the length of a pre-image side. That's our scale factor. Now to find the value of x, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go 2 over 9 equals, so again I went from image to pre-image, comparing this side to this one, and I just look for two other sides to compare that are corresponding, such as the bottom side of this figure, x, and the bottom side of this figure, 7. To solve for x, I cross multiply. 9 times x is 9x. 2 times 7 is 14, and to get x by itself, I divide both sides by 9, giving me x equals 14 over 9. Now what we're going to do is we're going to enlarge a figure by a scale factor of 2, but our figure is going to be on the coordinate plane. Now in order to enlarge a figure by 2 that's on the coordinate plane, it's a pretty easy process, but what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to label your points, A and B, and list them off to the side. So A is the point -2, -3. And B is the point 2, -1. And what we're going to do with those points is we're going to make them 2 times larger. That's our scale factor of 2. In other words, when we multiply by 2, it's not going to be -2, -3 anymore. It's going to become -4, -6. So A goes to A prime as -4, -6. This is A prime. B goes to B prime, A prime. Instead of 2, 1, it becomes 4, -2. So B is going to go to 4, -1, 2. This is going to be B prime. And I'm going to go ahead and connect my 2 dots. And you'll see that the shape is indeed much larger, in this case twice as large, as the original shape. And that's how we make a figure larger by a scale factor of 2. This one's a little bit more tricky because we're going to reduce the figure by a scale factor of 2/3. That means we're going to multiply our coordinates by 2/3. If you feel like you've got this, go ahead and pause the video, work the example out, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. Otherwise, let's go ahead and work this one together. Again, the first thing I'm going to want to do is label my points A and B if it's not already done for me. Now, A is the point -3, 2. And B, in this case, is going to be my point 1, 4. Now, when I multiply those values by 2/3, I'm going to end up getting some fractions. And to do that, I'm going to take each point, or each piece of each point separately, starting with the -3. So I'm going to go -3 times 2/3. If you remember, to multiply a whole number times a fraction, we put the whole number over 1. And we multiply top to top and bottom to bottom, giving us -6/3, which is -2. So A, so far, is going to go to -2, comma. Now let's go ahead and find the value of the y. So we've got the x, let's find the y. Instead of being 2, we're going to go 2 times 2/3, so 2/1. We get 4/3, which can be reduced to 1 and 1/3. If you have a calculator for this section, you're welcome to use it. 1 and 1/3. So, we found our x and y values for A. Let's go ahead and find our x and y values for B, and then we'll go ahead and plot them after that. So, B, instead of being 1, we're going to go 1 times 2/3, which is pretty easy. It's just 2/3. And for our last one, 4 times 2/3. So we're going to take 4 times 2/3. Again, we put 4/1, multiply top to top, bottom to bottom. We get 8/3, which is 2 and 2/3. Oops. So let's go ahead and plot those points, starting with the A value. I'm going to plot the A values in red. -2, 1 and 1/3. So we go -2, 1, and 1/3 is just 1/3 of the way up. This is going to be A prime. Now B prime is going to be the point 2/3, so let's do that one in blue. 2/3 is 2/3 of the way between 0 and 1, so we're about right here, comma, 2 and 2/3. So it's going to be right about there. Now, I'm not asking you to be extraordinarily accurate, just get in the general area of where it belongs. And you'll notice that when you connect your 2 dots, you end up with something that is a little bit shorter, in this case, 2/3 as short or as big as the original figure.